Okay. Hey, Red, can you do me a favor and go on YouTube and see if that just popped up? If you don't mind, if you're there, or anyone for that matter. Oh, yeah. No, I do see it now. Cool. All right. So maybe Bitcoin takes a little dive back to this liquidity area. You do see it?
No, where's the link?
It should just be on the public page. I could give you a link though.
Yeah, it's live. I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll post the link here as well. In case anyone wants to move over there for any reason. There will be a little bit of a delay over there, by the way.
NQ just had a nice rejection from liquidity pocket on the other side.
Oh, wow. Man, that thing moves fast.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. So I was grabbing a drink, I came back and it was 200 ticks moved already.
Yeah, you had a nice distribution here, knocking out some of these stop losses from previous shorts. But you filled a big order here and here.
Monthly VWAP is right there too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's working.
Cool. Take a look at NQ. Go to that block now. Current resolution is not supported. Figure 8. I'll have to fix that later. So yeah, it's running right into the point of control in the center of this order block here. So we could get a decent pullback. You have a 45-minute order block, or if anybody's familiar with wick tests. I'm going to go ahead and mark that 15. OB there. That also is very nice coming back into this high volume node. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit so we can grab that fair value gap too. It's too close not to.
There's a 1 hour order block that we just tapped into on NQ.
Mm-hmm.
Would you use it? Because it's quite a massive order block and I can't find any way to refine it from another order block.
That's the one I have here as well. That 1 hour?
Yeah. Oh, I was actually looking at the opposite color candle before, but I realized that's been tapped. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm using the same color candle again. The reasoning is the same as we were explaining to Red, because this point of control is right in the center. And what did this do? We had a heavy displacement here, right? But what else are we looking at? It broke through VWAP, back tested VWAP, and that was that massive move down. So I'm expecting heavy players in here, right? And not only that, we had inducement on this order block. And of course, that's giving inducement on this point of control here. And we're testing that wick right now. So that's kind of how, dude, come on down a little bit more. There we go. Nice. Now we're tapping into that order block and fair value gap. That's a better pullback.
That liquidity pocket short would have been very nice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, so we did tap into the 0.5 of this range, this leg of structure here. So that could be looking good. Let's go on NQ order flow. Look at that. That's beautiful, by the way. Sorry. That would have been a nice short there. I mean, you had a nice 3 tap of the high here, but you also had the micro 3 tap. Again, this is why I love using Bookmap, because you start to see Wyckoff patterns a lot easier and a lot sooner on the micro, and then you often see them, you know, make up micro patterns within the macro pattern, if you can call this a macro pattern. It's still like a 1 minute, but I think you get what I'm saying. Yeah, I want to see how this behaves at this level, but I would actually prefer it to come down a bit. We have an iceberg order on that is live right now. Yeah, I would like this thing to come a little bit further down, to be honest with you. Right in this area. 29.5, 29.450. Yeah, it's basically VWAP. 29.450 is VWAP. Yeah, I would be looking for this area for our next potential long, if we can get down there. I think we can. We had a nice selling step in here. Yeah, it's a pretty clean flip. Trapping these guys at the high where that passive player came in. Very nice. Like a small micro redistribution pattern here. Bring it down. Come on. Push. Here we go. Stopping out some longs. Adding more selling pressure here. Got some icebergs showing up. Yeah, let's bring it down. Bring it down. That wick test. Check out Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's following ES and NQ pretty good today. And you got a nice 3-tap pattern here in supply. Nice 3-tap pattern here. Nice 3-tap pattern here. I would say the correlation is pretty nice today. Nice accumulation at that level, man. such a quick test too. I like moves like this where you get a nice signal and you break down trying to lose a level like an SFP, and then you just immediately reclaim that. It makes for such easy trades. Oh, nice. Going back into this supply here. Did it catch? No. Still there. I still want it to come down further. At least at 29.5. Come on. Why is that detecting one? That filter should be. Oh, so that was active. That's why it didn't. Okay. Damn, you have some passive support coming in here. See what this looks like zoomed out. Man, this guy down here is just waiting. He is patient. Coming back in some supply right here. See if we can see any signs of a reversal from here. Already breaking down very quickly. Easy trend line up. You broke trend line, broke microstructure, forming that distribution here. Not much of a trap here, but this is more of a low volume pullback. But you got this, you know, got to break through this passive support though too. And same thing happened here. A little bit more of a battle at this area, which is normal. But NQ does like to kind of whip in and whip out quite quickly. I think it's going to break that one. And breaking it. Oh, nice iceberg popped in there. Somebody's trying to save it. Not with one contract, though. Gonna have to try a little harder than that. Nice delta there. Hitting some stop losses. Boom. That guy's back. So this is the supply I'm looking at right here. Even tinier supply. And again, I do not do this on Bitcoin, by the way. Will not find me taking 30-second supply on Bitcoin. Ever. Well, even that move there could be a nice rip down. We go down a VWAP, 700 ticks. Such a tiny stop loss. We can get down to VWAP, that'd be an 8-hour move right there. And Bitcoin's bouncing. There you go. Okay, let's go watch that real quick over here. See what's going on. Oh, so yeah, it did come back down to that same passive player. They're not messing around. So now we're finally getting up to our level. Come on, don't exhaust out here. Come on, try to push up in there. Man, that's pure exhaustion here. This move was probably people getting stopped out, and then just that fuel gets spent and nobody is coming in. We need someone with the fat finger push the buy button to get up here. Wow. Really poor attempts. But again, this move right here, this positive delta, was a lot of these shorts getting stopped out, adding buying pressure, and then that just buying pressure disappeared because no new longs were willing to really step in there. Let's take a look at that over here. Yeah, you can see that exhaustion here. You had that push right here and just completely exhausted out, but no selling right here at all. Didn't even need to have a battle there. You can see like no shorts are coming in here. Yeah, let's hit that level. I think we need to hit that level. Come on. Well, anybody in the chat have any questions while we wait for Bitcoin slowly trying to hit this liquidity level? Anybody trading anything? Anybody have any questions on order flow or the system in general? Yes, I do. Do I ever add to the winning trade? Absolutely. I never add to a losing trade. We spoke about that earlier. One of my worst losses, and yes, gave me PTSD. How do I do it? Here. So today would be a great example of how you would add to a trade. So let's walk through if we were to get in here, okay? Now you could have had several entry points here. So let's just kind of walk through this slowly, this whole entire leg up. And as you already know, I only trade New York session. So again, this is your New York Open right here. And there's reasons for that, obvious. So you left behind a very, very nice supply here. If you're using order flow, you can catch a trade down in this area. Maybe you're right in here or right in here. But either way, you could have gotten this nice retest around this area where you're forming that rounded bottom. If you're looking at Bookmap, you would see this accumulation here and get your confirmations there as well. And you even tried to break this trend line, or you did break the trend line, and then you returned back to that range. So you had several areas to get in here. So it depends on where you got in first and foremost, but let's just say we got in here and then we added in more here. And then let's just say we had stop loss down at the order block. But for me personally, after seeing this trend line break and this move up, my stop loss would have been at the lows here. So let's do it like this. So that's going to be our entry. This is going to be our stop loss. And so where would I want to start taking profit here? Well, always look left, see what kind of liquidity we have sitting around. I was already on a higher time frame. We had the bias of this range. Like, where am I looking for shorts? That's usually where I like to take some profits. You have these highs. You have a liquidity wave up here. We have big supply, point of control. So this area in general, from here to here, is where I'd be starting to take profits. So if we take a little bit of profit here, and this is bumping over VWAP, which is very, very important. And we have that. So we take profits here. So we're already locking some in the trade. At that point, at that first take profit, and this is me personally, not financial advice. You can do what you want, manage your trades how you want. I would be using this New York Open as my place for the stop loss, because we had demand step in hard right here. And what did it do? It pumped massively. So if it comes back to here, I want out of the trade, because to me, this is my invalidation point. New York Open is my invalidation point at this time. So we come back down and I have a new level of interest, right? We have this order block, we have VWAP, and we have the point of control all right here. And of course, in that time, we walk through everything. So once you start to see a pullback in your next level of interest, that's where I would add to the trade. So if my stop loss was here, I would try to get an entry right around here at this point of control, high volume node. And if I can't catch that entry, that's fine. Because again, we walked through this and I showed you two different entries from this point on Bookmap. So you can use Bookmap as just this insane tool to catch these entries that you can't see on like regular candlesticks, right? You're not going to see everything you're able to see on Bookmap. So if you didn't catch this trade here, I would have caught the trade probably right here on this pullback after you reclaimed VWAP. So reclaiming levels is very, very big for me. Right here, we had the daily open and VWAP. So I would have placed my trade right here if I would have missed this one. So I might have, let's just say you had a small entry here and another entry here. So that is how I would add to my trade. And why this is obviously a better, more conservative entry. Why? Because you're reclaiming reclaiming two levels right here, back testing it perfectly. And of course you have a small amount of demand right here. But what else are we doing? We're breaking trend lines from this section here. And we're also breaking a high. So you broke this high, came back to that retest. So you could have got in anywhere around this area as well. So add here. And then if I'm here at this point in time, VWAP is now my line in the sand. So I might put it here or maybe right here, anywhere right there, because in my eyes, I'd probably put it here, give it a little bit of breathing room. Because if we come back down here and start losing structure or losing this newly formed trend line here, you know, you have to look at trend lines as trend line liquidity, not just some fancy line in the chart that you're taking trades from. You have to understand why we're using things. Because if you understand the logic behind it, you have a reason to use it, not just blindly using something like, oh, someone telling you to, you know, take a trade off of a trend line. But why? Someone telling you to trade off a 30-second market structure shift. Why? How valuable is it? How often does it work? So you have to take a lot of different things into account. But getting back to adding the trade, those are areas where I would add to this trade. But getting up here, because we are now getting past the equilibrium of this range, I would not be adding to my trade up here, to be honest with you. Now, if I was in plenty of profit and I was thinking that maybe potentially we come and back test this area, high volume node, trend line, maybe get back to the previous day VWAPs in this area, maybe you could also add here, but I would also be taking profits here as well. So if I took profits here, maybe I would add in 25% of those profits here. But I'm not about to give my money back to the market. So whatever that amount is, I'm not going to be putting like 75% back into the trade or something like that. And if it's getting too far, like we have a nice run up here, but we're getting in to the premium section of this range. So to me, it's a little harder to add to the trade the further you get into this section. Because this section for me is short territory, right? So again, going back to the rule of 7, context, location, level. What's our location here? These are badass areas for longs down here, but these are badass areas for shorts. So that's just how I do it and how I look at it. And that's, that's how I find consistent profitability. I don't like to take too many trades in this equilibrium section. You can. I'm not saying that you can't, but if you're a beginner, definitely do not. You have to understand that these trades, they might only get you back to the other side of the range. Like this one here. But if you took the trade in the same way as you did this one here, it only got you this far. But when you take trades from the extremes of the range, you have much more ability to move across the range, or at least if you're getting back to the 0.5, it's still a good distance. And same thing with this long here, back to the 0.5, this long here, back to the 0.5. So it's not that trades here can't work out. They absolutely can. You just have to be more cognizant about the higher time frame context and location. Those two things matter to me a whole lot. I mean, they're rule number 1 and 2 of the rule of 7 for a reason. Those rules are in order for a reason. But anyways, yeah. So where I take re-entries or adding to a trade is all the same. So again, like I was saying earlier, if I missed this entry, we had an entry here and we had an entry right here to get in with this uptrend today. So I look at the same adding to the trade as I would re-entering a trade if I missed it. How many ticks per row do I set my footprint candles to? Well, on my template, I have it on auto. And the reason being, because I like to be able to zoom in and zoom out really quickly. One of the most beautiful things Market Monkey has, and this is kind of small and maybe trivial, but it has a 360 zoom that I wish every platform would use, because it's so easy to zoom in and zoom way out very quickly. But let me answer your question. So if we go here, go to the settings, you have this enabled to pick your custom ticks, right? But if it's disabled, it's on auto. So I'm able to squeeze in and aggregate what I want when I want. So if you wanted to see something match depends on how you have your heat map set up, but this is on HD, which is set to 5 ticks automatically when you have it on HD. Same thing with my order book profile. To match these levels to this level, you have to match that 5 ticks to 5 ticks. So if you want to see a 5 tick sell match this 5 ticks, you would have to have this on probably about 5-10 ticks here. So here's why I don't do that. So let's just set this to like 10. Oh, I'm sorry. The lowest is 25. I forgot. That's low enough. That's good enough. But so you won't see any of your numbers zoomed out like this, even zoomed in. Look how far you have to zoom in to just see how much buying is going on here when you get to your passive wall. I don't want to be that zoomed in all the time. So it leaves you with no choice. So and plus, just like that's way too many, way too granular of a tick size. So that's why I always keep this on disabled and just put it on auto, because the zoom feature itself allows you to go from 25 ticks to, much, much larger ticks, whatever that max range is that they have set in here. I don't know the exact number, but nonetheless, you just control it by your zoom. And that's the same way it is on Bookmap too, right? You're controlling the resolution by the zoom. So I use this the same exact way. So let me know if that answers your question. But yeah, I do not pick a tick per row size on my cluster candles for Market Monkey. Always just keep it on zoom. That way I can just zoom in and see finer ticks whenever I so please. And I probably do that a lot because, you know, that's the way it is here too. Like you zoom in and you're seeing finer ticks, right? So I'm just used to that and I prefer it that way. So you're not stuck with one thing. Well, that 30-second supply did take us back down to the GP, or the Mickey Mouse pocket, as some people like to say.
We need to include more Disney characters.
Right. So that was a 5.8R trade that we were watching. Very, very nice scalp setup there. You could just take that trade and be done for the day.
BTC trying to drop also.
Yeah.
But still no shorts.
We are riding that trend line.
Yep. But no shorts. Actually, shorts are closing for some reason. At least in this candle, which is kind of weird. But
how do you get the sell buy column on Bookmap? Do you need Global Plus plan for that? So, okay. So you're talking about this here. So this is a chart range. I just changed the name of it here, but it's the chart range volume profile. So you can go into here and you can choose that there. So the reason I choose this is because I want to try to separate sells and buys up. So this acts as a footprint cluster candle. So if I wanted to see how much buying came in here, because this bubble is not showing me how much buying, it's showing me the delta imbalance. So it's showing me who won here. That means buyers outweighed sellers right here. And then they get trapped, right? But if I wanted to see the actual number, I can come over here and see that we had 39, 43, 16, and 1.3 at the very, very tip top of buying. And you had a zero print right here. And what do we, well, most of y'all might not know, but zero prints we often come back for. I'll just tell you that much. Unfinished business. How about that? But also have zero prints down here. That'll be more elaborated in the course, by the way. But you see here, we had a very, very large buying delta step in here, a 119. But again, I was explaining that that was more likely shorts getting closed out right here. Why? Because that's where stop losses are. So when you come up here, price triggers those short stop losses. Those shorts add to the buying pressure, which leads to these type of SFP moves, but no one steps in, meaning no new buyers support the move up. So they get trapped, or at least those stop losses, the exits got trapped. But nonetheless, there was no new positioning from the longs here. So it couldn't push up. So it had no choice but to fall back down. And yeah, I would have loved for it to come and test these, but I don't doubt that we might come back for them at some point.
There we go.
Ooh, see now yeah, you're going to start to rip through these here. And this is going to add selling pressure to this side. And the only thing that's going to stop that are these players over here, the passive side. Nice 5-minute block left behind. I'll grab that. Go ahead and include that little bit of fair value gap there. Why don't we? Coming into an order block right here as well. And yeah, if y'all are new here, guys, I don't use only opposite color order blocks. But you do have an opposite color 10 right there as well that you could use. Because I'm also looking at these levels here. I'm also looking at this high volume node here. I'm not just looking at SMC stuff. I just want to be clear. My quote unquote rules might be a bit different than what you might be using from other SMC teachers. But I just use what works for me and what has worked for me for years. I'm using TradingView at the moment for footprints and it doesn't auto size them well. Yeah, so TradingView is not tick-based data. It's not market by order data or MBO data. So it is not true order flow. It is delayed order flow, unfortunately. Sorry to be a bearer of bad news on that for you. But I would highly suggest to use a different order flow platform. There's plenty of good ones, to be honest with you. Bookmap and Market Monkey are my favorites. I don't know what you trade, but if you're trading crypto, the free version of Market Monkey is really, really great. I mean, ExoCharts is still a great platform as well. I just prefer Market Monkey. And Atas is a good one as well. And if you are on Windows, I would look into Quant Tower and Sierra Charts. But again, that depends on what you're trading. Because unfortunately, a lot of these platforms are very split in one direction or the other, whether they really support futures or really support crypto, because there's red tape around futures that a lot of crypto platforms do not want to cross into, and different a lot of different things that they have to do as far as the back end of getting data. So costs more money for them, just to put it that way. Costs a lot more money for them. So that's why you see a lot of platforms kind of cater to one or the other. Unfortunately, I would love a platform that kind of does it all. And I would say Atas is pretty close to that. But unfortunately, Atas, you cannot aggregate different crypto exchanges, which is a huge fail. Now, I hope they change that, but we'll see, right? But I personally love Bookmap. This is my main tool for execution. And there is a free version of Bookmap that you can use for crypto as well. So, you know, there's no reason to go out there and just jump into paying for a platform. The free versions, to be honest with you, are really all you need, because you don't need anything crazy to trade order flow. All you need is to really see is the order book and these aggressors right here, the bubbles. Those are the main two things you see. The heat map's nice, which is just the visual portion of the order book. And of course, CVD and delta bars are also nice, but not needed by any means. You can do a lot of damage just by having an order book and seeing this here, which this is basically like a depth of market or a DOM. If you've ever heard of that or if you're familiar with that, people play off the DOM by itself. And I use it from time to time. Oh, wrong one. So basically, Bookmap is a visualization of this DOM. We'll have to give it a moment for this to load up. There's my Bitcoin one here. We'll just use that since it's already loaded. So these players right here are the bubbles. These blue passive players right here are these guys right here in this order book. And the red side is the ask side of the order book. So everything underneath price on the heat map is right here. Same thing above you, right here. So if you wanted to go to like 60,600, you could just scroll up. And this is not showing full depth, but if it was, you'd be able to see that order right here. But a lot of people don't have any of this up and they just trade off of this. You can absolutely do that. And if you're good at scalping and reading this here. I'm going to put an alert right here. Put alarm here and here. Okay, take a look at NQ. Come on, let's get that full trade. I'm still waiting for this VWAP to get hit. This could form a nice accumulation right here, though. Come down one more time. Definitely be on the watch out for that. Yeah. So yeah, you just right click on that column and select that. You can run now. This is my complete order book right here. So these are the COBs. So these are COBs here, this first column, which you see is just bars. Then you have this one here, which is just the numbers, because I like to separate them because these bars kind of cover up the numbers a little bit. And I'm old and blind. And then I have this one here, which again is the chart range volume, which is the sell by. I just changed the name right here. And that's showing me the separate selling and buying of the chart range. So if you zoom in and zoom out, it's going to take all of this that's on your chart and calculate it here. And then you just have the regular old session volume profile here on the right side. And I don't know if you need the Global Plus plan for that, by the way. I'm not sure. I've had the Global Plus plan for a long time, so I don't exactly know what's on the free plan these days. I'm pretty sure you can have columns on the right side. I'm sure someone here can probably tell you better than I can.
I think you should be able to add those columns.
Yeah.
Even on the free one. Or if it's not the free one, only the digital plus that is like, I don't know, $20 a month or something, which gives you 24 hours.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. If they haven't changed it, because I also haven't checked.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Hell yeah. By the way, you can always come into the VIP section. I forget where it is here in the liquidity lab. And you go to not cheat sheets, the templates. And I have my Market Monkey template here and my bookmap template. And I have them here in the free template section as well. So if you're not in the VIP, you know, I still post my templates there for y'all as well. And I actually need to update this one with my most updated NQ settings. I'll probably do that this weekend. But I always make little tweaks and updates. But yeah, those templates are there if y'all want to use that and get something close, and then you can, you know, change things to your liking from those templates as well.
On the free MMT, it's worth noting you can have, because you're limited to the things you can add on the free version, but you can save 2 layouts. So I have one layout with CBD, delta bars, bar statistics, and then a separate layout on the second tab with net longs, net shorts, and OI. So you can have all the things that are on your template, but you just have to have them on 2 layouts, and you can have 2 tabs open at the same time.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, that's probably the better way to do it anyways, because I hate having too much taking up room, like, because, you know, price action is really what I want to watch, right? Because everything here, like, again, just kind of reiterating what I was saying before, all I care about for the most part is these cluster candles, the aggressors coming into these passive players. Everything you see down here is very helpful for confirmations, but it's not 100% needed. If you get really good at this portion here, that's enough, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, I kind of keep this one here as my positioning. So I have the open interest, net longs, net shorts here. And they really had a big flush on longs earlier. Well, yeah, that was the bottom right there. So yeah, so if you're not familiar with using open interest, net longs, net shorts, when price came down here, you stopped a ton of old longs out from over here. So you had people with their stop loss trailing up in this area. And then that's how you see this. You see closing on open interest and closing on net longs. Again, you did get some closes on shorts too. You probably had some shorts getting wiped out by trailing their stop losses from this short here, or they just took profit, got out of their trade manually, you know. Here we see longs trying to come in. Let's get to this level, man. I want to see the battle at this level. Really do. No, don't give out here. Man. A lot of longs just came out though. Ooh. See, that's why, again, and I know if you have my course, you already know this. If you just saw what happened to these net longs and net shorts right here, you're taking that lesson, you understand why this is glitchy. Very important to know because it tells you how much you can trust these two indicators right here. Nice big order on the tape here on the sell side. Why's my quality stream back to poor?
Okay, so what did they do? Oh, they came back for this one.
Come on, let's just take the highs. I really want these guys to get filled. Yep, popping back into 5-minute supply here. See what that looks like over here. Let's get this out of the way. Nice push there. Nice passive support coming in. Let's see if these guys come back.
Yeah, but all the longs that open now are closing.
Well, we need a fat finger at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what to do, Svetel.
I'm waiting. They stopped me out of the first short.
But yeah, very nice touchdown on that PDEQ and PDVWAP like we were talking about before. Again, this is why I use these levels, these intraday levels so much. This is a big portion of how I get back into trades or where I add trades, just like we were talking about before. So even if you had, for example, if you had that order block right there and you want to know, okay, where inside this order block can I take more of a precise trade? That's how I use these levels. But I also use this. And getting caught back up the point of control on lunch hour on a Friday. It's not my favorite time to trade. Not my favorite day to trade either.
But it's good volume still
It
for
is.
Friday.
Man, we've actually been having great volume across the board most days, to be honest with you. I mean, I've actually been quite impressed. I love it.
For a summer, it's a bit weird, but
yeah, it's great, man. I'll take it. You got to take the volatility when it's here. It was like last year. I talk a lot about this in the Discord and stuff. Like, yeah, I do. There are some days where I might take 15 to 20 scalp trades. I don't do that a lot recently. Of course, I'm building out courses and everything. And usually, I would say on average, I usually take 3 or 4 trades a day. That's probably my average over the course of a long period of time. But last year, with Trump doing all of his tweets and everything, man, I took so much advantage of that. there was just trades all around these intraday levels on Bitcoin, ES, and Q. And yeah, I was taking 15, 20, 25 trades a day, scalp trades. Um, so yeah, when you have those opportunities, man, they're not there all the time. So you've got to make the best of them. You got to take advantage of them. That 10-minute block was still very nice here. That was a very nice tap into that one. Still in the range. Not what I want to see. Definitely not what I want to see. So we're still trading inside yesterday's range and even a smaller range. So we really need to expand this. Yeah, I can't help but just still see this as a redistribution pattern here. Nice tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. Let's take a look at the weekly really quick. See what's up with it. Yeah. Having trouble getting back into the weekly range as well. There's just so much resistance right in this area. Hanging on for dear life. Okay. Well, just going to briefly look at that. Oops. Nice taps on the VWAP deviation. If we can't get above this deviation 1, that's a clear marker of a range and not a trend, by the way. I don't know if anyone here knows the theory behind the VWAP deviations, but first deviations are your range. Outer ones are your trending areas. You spend a lot of time in acceptance in this area, you start trending away.
Oh, no, dump it.
You're hitting a 15-minute demand. Sorry, 5-minute demand. These guys are reloading pretty heavily. Not a massive trap, as you can see here. Just a couple hundred Bitcoin, not like we had earlier where we had several thousand. So comparatively for the day, that's quite small trap. Uh, never good when CBD is just straight horizontally. Gets boring. Had a much better trap over here. This was a very nice point of control retest here. This candle.
CVD laying flat on the beach.
Yep. Getting boring. Take a look at ES, see what's going on with that. I mean, it does starting to look like a distribution there as well. That can get invalidated. Man, we get a second short from this thing? Damn it. Arrhythmic went offline. If it gets too much lower, these passive players here are going to be trapped underwater as well. Still have these big orders here. The biggest order to the downside looks about 57.5. Nice patch of orders right here, but that one's pretty large. $57.5 right around here. Interesting location. Yeah, everything's starting to slow up a bit. I might take this as my cue to go grab some food. So does anyone have any questions before I sign off here? Because I think it's Friday, so I think I'm gonna go grab some pizza today. Treat myself to some pizza. Anybody have any nice plans for the weekend?
I'm going to the seaside.
Yeah, I might go to
Paddle, hopefully.
Nice. I plan to get out to the beach this weekend. Going to see The Cure. Awesome. Hell yeah, man. That should be a good time. Oh, it's in Dublin too. Right. That should be a good show. Okay, this is disturbing now. Can we get this off of the screen? Like what?
It's fucking weird.
I keep watching it over and over again. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I enjoy doing these streams, and yeah, I know I keep saying it, but we are going to be doing these very regularly every week. Very, very soon. Got one more module to finish on the order flow course, and then I'm going to start the blueprint course right after it. But I will start streams on a regular basis. And they'll probably be New York streams, by the way. Probably going to start with 2 streams a week and then slowly bump it up from there. Probably adding like a mid-week stream for other stuff like maybe altcoins and stocks and metals and stuff like that. So we don't just continuously watch 1 or 2 things. Because I know we do have people here trading other things as well. But I will leave everyone here with that. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. I appreciate everyone for being here. And if you have any questions, pop them up in the Discord or shoot me a DM if you need to. I will get around to answering them. But with that said, I'll catch everyone here later.
Thanks, man. That was a really good stream.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
All right. Talk to y'all later, man. Bye.
Bye.